At times, people find themselves unable to properly care for their pets, often resulting in the animals being surrendered to shelters or abandoned in public spaces. But for 13-year-old Reese, her story took an unexpected turn. Reese, a 13-year-old dachshund, found her greatest joy in giving and receiving hugs from people. Despite the love she shared with her previous owner, life had become too overwhelming for the owner to meet Reese's needs. Faced with a difficult choice, she tearfully left Reese in the yard of a stranger's home, attaching a note to her harness in the hope that someone could provide the fulfilling life Reese deserved. The decision wasn't due to a lack of love for Reese, but rather the challenge of balancing the care of an aging pet with raising 4 young children. Reese, for her part, wasn't fond of the chaos of young kids. She preferred quiet moments, interacting with other animals, and enjoying affection from her owner. Instead of surrendering her to a shelter, her owner chose a different path, leaving Reese in the yard of a stranger, hoping for the best. Fortunately, the note explained her situation to the surprised homeowner who found her. Yet, this was only another stop in Reese's journey, not her final destination. The message attached to Reese clarified her situation, stating, "To you, my name is Reese. I'm 13 years old, and I'm not keen on young children. I enjoy my relaxation time. I hope the person finding this will look after my dog. She means the world to me, but my time is extremely limited." The note provided further details, reading, "She needs all the time and affection you can give. I regret having to do this, but with 4 children, my time is stretched too thin." The note concluded with, "Thank you, her mother." Remarkably, the person who found Reese didn't simply leave her outside. Instead, they welcomed the senior dog into their home while considering what to do next. Though they were not in a position to keep her permanently, having already cared for 3 other dogs, they knew finding Reese a forever home wouldn't be easy. However, after sharing her story on social media, a hopeful opportunity soon emerged. Stay with us to learn what happened next. It was heart-wrenching that Reese's journey led to her being left with a note by her previous owner. Yet, the individual who stumbled upon her in their yard wasn't equipped to provide for the senior dog either. The newcomer engaged in efforts to ensure that Reese secured a permanent residence and found new caretakers who would cherish and treasure her as she rightly deserved. It was the least gesture of kindness possible. Without a clear starting point, the newcomers resorted to Facebook, sharing the peculiar situation in a closed group. Their hope was for someone to guide them toward the right path or, in the ideal scenario, for someone to be eager to embrace Reese. Despite the absence of immediate luck in finding someone to adopt the mature canine directly, assistance came from an unexpected source. Someone reached out and put them in touch with a local animal shelter, the Royal Animal Refuge. The Royal Animal Refuge promptly got in contact with the newcomer, inquiring about Reese and the details surrounding her situation. Shelter Director Mariel Wend expressed her thoughts to the dodo. Commenting on the mature dog being left behind, she stated, "We were certainly taken aback upon hearing the news, yet we considered the possibility that the former owner was simply at a loss for what to do or whom to approach. Now, their sole aim became aiding Reese in finding a new home. Though the shelter remained disconcerted by the unfolding events, their approach was compassionate." In a discussion with the dodo, the shelter's director mentioned, "Our local animal control services do not endorse abandonment, which presents a challenge when rescue avenues are scarce and no alternatives are available." Fortunately for Reese, her circumstances were on the verge of dramatically improving. While not an ideal predicament for a senior dog, Reese was on the brink of discovering a lifelong home. Continue reading to get acquainted with her new caretaker. The Royal Animal Refuge boasts an exemplary foster care system, enabling its patrons to house dogs until a permanent adoption is feasible. In the case of Reese, an experienced foster parent stepped up. Robin Kling, an elderly individual, consented to host Reese in her household until the shelter could arrange a lasting scenario for the senior dog. As it happened, a permanent solution manifested far sooner than anticipated. Upon Reese's arrival, Robin introduced the senior canine to her mother, Susie Reeves. The connection was immediate. Susie sensed something unique about the dog and felt she was primed for companionship. In dialogue with the dodo, shelter director Wen remarked, Klein's mother was advanced in years and she had recently experienced the loss of her dog a few months prior, so she took on the role of foster caretaker. During the conversation, Wen mentioned that Robin shared how her mother adored Reese from the start. Originally, they intended for Susie to look after Reese temporarily, and it wasn't expected to last. However, the family quickly grew attached to the 13-year-old Dachshund mix and decided, why not keep Reese and welcome her into our home permanently? They soon made the adoption official. Reese had an eventful month. Initially, she was left in a stranger's yard, with her previous owner hoping the stranger would integrate the 13-year-old dog into their household as if she were their own. When that didn't happen, Reese ended up with the local animal shelter. This must have been quite confusing for the elderly dog. Luckily, Susie was there to assist and improve Reese's life. Susie and Reese were thrilled to be together. In a chat with the dodo, Wen discussed the adoption, noting how beneficial it was for both. He remarked, "She's thrilled to have offered him a home. She informed me that he would receive love, and it's a joyful conclusion for Reese." A joyful conclusion indeed. Reese's journey from being left in a stranger's yard to finding a loving home with an elderly lady is inspiring. Susie was also overjoyed to introduce the senior dog into her household, especially after the recent loss of her own dog. They both needed companionship, and they discovered it in each other. Reese is guaranteed a beloved home for her remaining years, which pleases the rescue center immensely. Reese wasn't the only canine to find a forever home at the Royal Animal Refuge. Elsa's tale, though different, ends just as positively. After being spotted on the street, the person who found Elsa was initially unsure, even confused, thinking the large, hairless animal was a mix between a bear and a dog. Elsa was enormous and nearly hairless. The person who found Elsa commented, "She's extremely gentle, and she keeps bumping into you as if to say thank you. I believe she understood we were trying to assist her." Thankfully, Elsa willingly entered the rescuer's vehicle, and they immediately took her to a vet for a checkup. Clearly, Elsa was dealing with a mite infestation, as she was nearly without fur. At first, finding someone to adopt Elsa proved difficult due to her size. However, about half a year later, as her fur began to grow back, interest in her adoption increased. Elsa was initially placed in a temporary home for the holiday season, where she was meant to stay for just a few days. However, in that brief time, something unexpected occurred. The woman fostering Elsa quickly grew attached and couldn't bear the thought of letting her go. When the Royal Animal Refuge arranged a meeting with a potential adoptive family, the foster caregiver was overwhelmed with emotion, realizing she couldn't imagine life without Elsa. Fortunately, the visiting family informed the shelter that they weren't in a position to adopt Elsa, which came as a relief to the foster family, who had already made up their minds to keep her. Known for her warmth and friendliness toward both humans and animals, Elsa had won their hearts. Letting go of such a remarkable dog was simply impossible. Thanks to the Royal Animal Refuge's commitment and the support of devoted foster families, countless dogs have found their forever homes. For both Elsa and Reese, their unique charm and personalities were enough to capture the hearts of their foster families, leading to permanent, loving homes where they would be cherished members of the household. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you like it. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.